Okay, so I'm going
Okay.
to start from the beginning and say that this page is the most helpful. And clients will see on here,
Okay.
um, very often they get anxious once they send in their results. All of a sudden, they want to know how bad it is. And the very first module gives a good indicator. Over the overall, all the other modules are going to influence the index. And we like to see it in the green. Gold is, definitely rooms for improvement. Orange is where you start getting into trouble. And of course, red is where you do not want to be. So, this is a troubled gut. And then we look at the modules to find out what we can do about it. So first we got to really figure out what is wrong. And the first place to look is the
Well,
diversity.
excuse me. What is the gut microbiome index? Is that just a balance of everything,
Yes, it's just
taking everything
saying,
into consideration?
yes, it's taking these 5 modules and giving you just an overall score and saying, put it all together.
Okay.
And, we really need to be aggressive about helping this individual. So the
Okay.
diversity is the first to look at, and alpha diversity is asking, does this person have the right gut bugs? And the answer would be no, because it's very clear this is at the lower end of the extreme bad. So that is a problem. The beta diversity is saying for the gut bugs that this person has, are they adapted for where they live, what their lifestyle is, so geographically and environmentally. And it really isn't going to mean much for us because there's so few gut bugs. So we really can just ignore the beta diversity.
Okay.
The AMR is
Okay.
antimicrobial resilience. So what you can imagine in the gut, you've got either commensal friendly bacteria, or you have some pathogens mixed in. But overall, you have to look at it like a community. Is this community getting along, or is it fighting with itself? So organisms produce metabolites for their friends, their fermentation products, and other gut bugs eat them, and that makes them happy. They also produce ammunition, like bullets, for their enemies. So what you can conclude from this module is that the community is not happy. They are fighting with each other. So what we need to look then is, okay, what is the problem in this community? The first place to look is the pathogens, because that would tell you, is there a bully, a criminal that has stepped up and is pushing everyone around? And really the answer in this case is no. It's not the case of the bully taking over. It's the case that the friendlies, the commensals, the community leaders, the keystones, like the Keystone Cops, they are not doing their job. So you don't have any good citizens that are helping out in this community. And so when you look at the citizens that really make an influential or have an influential role in the community, they're listed there. And you see the very important ones, there's more that are low, and the one that is high is trying to compensate. So then you look at the functions. All of those good citizens produce and ferment metabolites, that not only feed their friends, but also help the gut repair and also help the host. And that would be us. So we look at all of these fermentation metabolites and we see they are majority are low, and the lactate one, which is too high. So it's creating, a very acidic environment. So we have some work to do on this gut. The foremost focus is going to be helping those keystone species. We need to go in and clean up the environment with some mega IgG 2000 and get some megaspore in there to, give them some CPR, and then some mega prebiotic to feed them a nice smorgasbord and get them happy. And then we can put in some mega mucosa to start healing the damaged epithelial lining, the mucin 2. And then when we create this, warm, fuzzy environment, these keystone species, they're going to get busy and start setting up support groups and, pinochle games and having big parties with all their friends.
Okay, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
What is the schedule for the mega IgG, the spore, and the prebiotic? When
Okay.
to take those?
Sure. So I usually start mega IgG, 1 capsule the first day, 2 capsules the second day, 3 capsules the third day, and 4 capsules on the fourth day, and then maintain that 4 capsules for the fifth day, and then add in a capsule of megaspore every other day. So now for 1 week. So what you're doing is you're taking a titration of the mega IgG. And when you get to the 4 capsules, after the 5th day, you're going to start megaspore and you're going to start titrating megaspore on top of the mega IgG. And for 1 week with the IgG, you're just doing a capsule of megaspore every other day. And if all goes well, then the next week, you're doing a capsule a day of megaspore and you're still continuing the mega IgG. And then if all goes well, on the third
Excuse
week,
me. So the fifth day, you do a 4th and 5th day, you do 1 cap or 4 caps. Oh, wait, I'm lost.
yeah. So
Okay, the
basically,
megaspore on the 6th day after you've done the mega IgG.
yeah. So it's simply you titrate IgG up for a week, and then you add megaspore, 1 capsule every other day for a week, and then the next week 1 capsule a day for a week, and then the third week 2 capsules a day, and you're doing this with food. And so that is going to take you 3 weeks plus the initial 1 week of the mega IgG titration.
Okay. And then the mega prebiotic.
Yes. So now we're starting into month 2. We keep the ingredients going. You've still got the IgG, you've still got the megaspore, and you're going to use IgG until it just runs out. When it runs out, you just, put it to the side. Now, in the second month,
Okay.
you're adding a half a scoop of the mega pre if you're using the powder, or you're adding half the serving size of the capsule amount for 1 week. And then the second week, you're up to the full dose to finish out that month. So that's month 2.
Okay.
Month 3, you're adding in the mega mucosa powder at half a scoop for the first week, and then continuing the rest of the month with a full scoop.
And then test again.
Yes, at that point, then you would look to see how well the total gut restoration did.
And is this pretty much standard protocol for everybody?
Yes. Now, there are some caveats. If someone does not tolerate megaspore well, then slow the titration down. You might have to break open the capsule and use, a half a capsule every other day, just whatever complaint they have, anything related to a GI, just tell them to go back to the dose that they didn't have any problems and start megaspore slower.
Okay.
There are very few, but it has happened for those with extremely damaged immune systems. Sorry, I had to cough. Sometimes they cannot tolerate megaspore at all. They can't even do a little pinch of the powder. So that's a big indication that their Treg cells are not recognizing, and they need to be trained by the spores one at a time. So we do that by just holding off on the megaspore, go with the HU58, and then graduate them to the Restore Flora, and then graduate them to megaspore. So it's going to take them a little bit longer on the spore reconditioning month, but they just have to go slower so that their body will learn to tolerate the improving microbiome.
And that's why some people can't take the Saccharomyces either.
Sometimes, yeah, if you move the microbiome shift too quickly, the body sometimes pushes back. So you just have to slow it down.
Okay. 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 And is this on that diagram on your
there is an interpretation guide
email?
on the BiomeFx website. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes. So you'll get some descriptors
But
on this report that will go through. If you mean the protocol for the products,
that
yes.
wheel.
Yeah, this is looking at different taxonomy levels and, you know, deeper into the type of organisms. So as an example, if you could look down your son's throat and all the bacteria had different colors, you know, you would see this, and you would compare it to a healthy population of organisms at the phylum level. And so it's very obvious to see there's a big difference in the species of organisms that are there. The first thing you observe is there's too many pink guys and not enough blue guys. And that's an important ratio of organisms. So if you want to know, you know, what that means, then there is a chart here on the ratios, and it explains, you know, your son has too many Firmicutes, and that's going to affect his metabolic rate. And then, you know, there'll be some risk factors that are associated with that. So that's how you read, you know, the circlograms and then compare them to the primary ratios that it's trying to show you. So all of his ratios are off. And so this will give you more in depth. You know, he has difficulty in, you know, his healthy metabolism and cell turnover. So it's going to be harder for him to repair. It's here, the Prevotella is observed in individuals that consume diets that have too much, you know, or are high in carbs, and the Bacteroides is going to show when someone has too much sugar, and that's his case. So these are your gut bacteria adjust to your diet, your lifestyle, your supplements, and your mental stress. So this is the outcome, and then that's what we'll use as indicators to compare to when he retests.
Okay. And then could we just briefly go back to page 1, the beta diversity index? It's just off because there's nothing in the gut. Is that right?
Right. So here's the descriptor here. You know, the alpha diversity looks at the average diversity richness of the species, particular ecosystem. So a low alpha diversity, like what he has, index suggests that the gut has recently had some antibiotics, environmental toxins, extreme stress, or something else going on. And then the beta
Okay.
diversity is saying that the gut microbiome composition is trending away from a healthy gut, and is imbalanced
Okay.
and dysbiotic. So, we would see that if it doesn't have good gut bugs, it's going to have a negative environment.
And then the resistome.
Yeah, and this is the one saying the community is not getting along. They're fighting instead of having a good time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. And so by doing these supplements, if people have trouble changing their diet, their nutrition, the supplements will help nevertheless.
They will, yes. Of course, how long it lasts
Okay.
goes back to how well they take care of themselves.
Okay. And then on page 8, the saccharolytic versus proteolytic.
Yeah, so that's saying, is there a difficulty in breaking down carbohydrates versus protein? So, the green dot is his sample, and it's at the far end of the spectrum. So there is a carbohydrate breakdown problem. And this goes into the detail. It's, he's got very low butyrate production, very low propionate production, very low acetate production. And this is a problem because these short chain fatty acids are what the mitochondria use for energy. The mitochondria of the bacteria, the mitochondria of the cells in the gut, the mitochondria of the tissue of the human body. So without all of these short chain fatty acids, there's going to eventually, he's going to run out of fuel. It's, there's no gas running the powerhouses of his cells.
Would it help for him to take Saccharomyces boulardii?
There is Saccharomyces
The
boulardii.
saccharolytic from.
Oh, no, that hasn't anything to do with that. Saccharomyces is just a yeast species. Saccharolytic is a carbohydrate food macromolecule.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
What
Okay,
would
so
help?
low butyrate.
What would
Go
help
ahead.
is
Yeah.
would be first of all getting the spore probiotics, doing the total gut restoration, and let me look at his proteolytic. His proteolytic fermentation is also struggling. It should be in the green. It's over here. So overall, taking some digestive enzymes would help. It just helps break down the food better.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I just discovered those for myself. Okay. Okay. All right. And then the methane being at 40, it's fine.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, that's actually one of the best methane ratings I've seen. So it's real close to the green. The other ones, are a problem. And mainly it's because
The
there's
GABA.
Yeah, and that's of course a neurotransmitter, and that's going to indicate sleep issues, perhaps anxiety issues.
Would you suggest you take a pharma-GABA
Well,
at night?
well, yes, you could supplement, but definitely use this as a marker to see once the total gut restoration, because supplementing is not going to raise this particular result. This result is coming from the bacteria, by itself. So if he has these particular issues, a short-term fix would be to supplement, but the long-term prevention of the problem is going to be fixing the gut.
Okay. Okay. And then the glutathione is very low. He could just do NAC while he's healing his gut.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as he's not overwhelmed with too many supplements. Sometimes, as well intentioned as we try, they might do a few, but they might bulk at many.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then indole, could you just speak about that?
Yeah, so this, what it's saying here is that, in the detoxification pathways, you've got a lot of biotics, which are mimicking hormones. And these enzymes that are in the liver, they're part of the cytochrome P450 of the mitochondria. They are very important for detoxifying those particular toxins. So indole has to be balanced so that process happens. So it's saying here, too much indole may produce unwanted changes in mood and cognition, yet insufficient indole produces many damaging to the gut barrier. So, there's a lot that our liver does for us. And it's important, to make sure that the liver and the gut are working together well.
Okay, and so indole is a particularly important. Okay. Okay. And then with the vitamin synthesis, perhaps just taking vitamins. I don't think he takes any B vitamins, but just while his gut is healing to maybe give him some more.
Well, I would say that
indirect healing.
Yeah, probably the most important vitamin. Let me see if it's low. Well, actually, he's okay on the vitamin K2. And remember, these are really reflecting what the bacteria, the vitamins, the bacteria are producing, giving more of an indication of that they're sick. They're not producing the vitamins that they should. And a lot of these are used for other bacteria. So sometimes it reflects on the human host, but most of it is just a reflection on how well, again, those community leaders are performing.
In the gut. Oh, so this is not just about systemic vitamins. This is about the use of the vitamins in the gut themselves. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fascinating. Wow. Okay. All right. Tracy, this is very meaningful and very helpful.
Super.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So let me know as he gets going on it, if you have any questions, or if he is just sails through it. That's good information too. So I wish you the very best, especially because I know he's your son, and we always want our kids to benefit from all of our research and our studies. So I'll keep that in mind in my prayers.
Thank you. And I do have one other question as I'm seeing your page here. The one thing that was really out of bounds was the E. coli. Any thoughts about that? In his, it mentioned that, I don't know which page.
Yeah,
but it did say that it's the one thing.
So let's go back to the pathogen section. Okay.
Oh, it's page 6.
Yeah. Okay. So what it's showing is that it was detected, but it is in range. So the range is 0.05 to 0.8, and his is only 0.15, almost 0.2.
Oh, okay.
So it's saying it's there.
Okay.
And it's okay if a pathogen is in the area, as long as it's not in abundance. It's like the criminal lives in the community, but he's on parole, and he's checking in with his parole officer, and he's being a good citizen.
got it.
And as long as, the good guys don't, start looting, and because he'll join right in, because that's what, he would like to do, but he's being good right now.
Oh, thank you so much. You're
You are welcome.
amazing. I'm so grateful for your time. I know you're so busy. So, and I've now got the name of your Dallas rep,
Mhm.
and I will contact her. And the y'all did the A4M. It was really excellent,
Oh, good.
really fabulous,
Excellent. Good to
really
hear that.
great.
Yes. Well, please
Tracy,
stay in
so
touch.
grateful.
Well, thank you. Good to see you.
Will do.
Wish you the best.
Will do. Thank you. And then you'll just send me the recording whenever.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take
Thank you.
care, Lynn. Bye-bye.
Bye.